Today we are going to start our new chapter, Lesson 2, Nutrition in Animals. Children, in animals and in plants, in both of them, nutrition occurs. You know it. In plants, the mode of nutrition is called autotrophic nutrition. You know it better. Then, in animals, the mode of nutrition is heterotrophic nutrition. Means animals depend on plants and other sources of animals for their food. You know it also. Now, in heterotrophic nutrition, there are various types. Holozoic, saprotrophic, parasitic, etc. As you know, holozoic nutrition, you are going to study about it. But saprotrophic nutrition, when bacteria and fungi decompose the substance, they feed on the dead parts of animals and plants. That when tiny organisms like bacteria and fungi obtain their nutrition from the dead and decaying part of animals and plants, then this kind of nutrition is called saprotrophic nutrition. Parasitic nutrition also you know, as in this mode of nutrition, animals obtain the food from living inside or on the body of host. So that mode of nutrition is called parasitic. In case of cuscuta, you have studied. Like mosquito is also a kind of parasite. Okay, we don't have to study this. Our main topic is holozoic nutrition. As you can see, the new topic is holozoic nutrition. In holozoic nutrition, children, we eat big food molecule, like large complex food, and then it gets digested. It gets break down in simplest form inside our body. Means digestion occur inside our body, and then we are able to get the energy. See here, in this way of nutrition, organism take complex food component from outside environment and it breaks down into inside the body and provides soluble nutrition or energy. It completes in 5 steps. See here, ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion. These are the 5 steps in which this mode of nutrition gets complete. Ingestion means inside our body, intake of complex food. Suppose you have eaten a big pizza, right, large size pizza. So that is what a complex food, a very big size of food. So immediately cannot provide you nutrition at all, right? So that intake of complex food is called ingestion. Then digestion starts. See, digestion starts from our mouth to the small intestine. Beginning is in our mouth. With the help of teeth, tongue, saliva, we start to chew the food to break down into simplest form. So that means digestion is simply the method to break down the biggest molecule into simplest molecule of food. Breakdown of complex food into simplest form. After digestion, next step is absorption. When the food gets digested into soluble form, then this soluble nutrient absorbs by our villi. You can turn your page and then you can see that villi are the fine, minute structure. They are rich with the blood vessels. So this soluble nutrients get absorbed in that blood only. And where that blood, which is rich with the nutrients, so it carries the nutrient to the cells of our body, right? And when the cell receives that nutrient, then assimilation means utilization of energy. That nutrients get utilized by the cells in various process. And after that, whatever the unused food is left in the body, in the alimentary canal, that removes outside of our body, and removal of unwanted food or feces from our body is called egestion. Here we are going to see that most of the unicellular organism, amoeba, paramecium. In your book, amoeba, hydra is given, है ना? So you can see the picture. As well as multicellular organism, human, we all follow this method of nutrition, the Holozoic nutrition. In amoeba also, the Holozoic nutrition occurs, right? See, amoeba is just one cell organism. It is called unicellular organism. The body is made up of just one cell. Here, when any food particles comes around the amoeba, then amoeba's cell starts to, means inside the cell cytoplasm is there, so it starts to send all the cytoplasm in two direction, and then it starts to form two finger like projection, two false feet, which is called pseudopodia. So it starts to form two false feet so that it can capture the food inside the cell. Then it starts to make a circumference around the food particle. Then inside of the cell, the food enters in the food vacuole. In the food vacuole, they digest their food, they utilize the important part of the food, and the water, the waste material, they throw it out from their body. Like this, amoeba also follow 5 steps of Holozoic nutrition: intake, ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and then egestion. See children, here Holozoic nutrition means when you take the complex food from outside surroundings, right? And that complex food enters in your body, then it get digested, and then anyhow it used to reach to the cells, and then the cell utilize the energy obtained from the food, and then the leftover part of the food which is not digested properly is thrown out from your body through the process of egestion. Here in case of amoeba and hydra, I tried to explain the Holozoic nutrition. See, complex food from outer surroundings, right? Here and here, outside the organism obtain their food, then they take in their body, right? So this is intake of the food. It enters in the body, so it starts to react, it starts to digest into simplest form, right? In case of amoeba, in case of hydra, in case of our body also, through the action of enzyme, the food gets break down into simplest form, right? Then it up here they are unicellular, so directly they are getting their energy. But in case of multicellular organism, the blood diffuse that food, that energy, right? And these soluble form of the food reach to the blood, from the blood reach to the cells, so the cells utilize the energy getting, and this energy gets utilized in the various life process activities. Afterwards, the undigested food particles, which is undigested, that the body threw out, and this throwing out the waste part of the food, undigested part of the food, is called egestion. Up here, intake, just take the food inside the body. Digestion, that is called ingestion. Digestion, breaking down of complex food into simplest form. Then absorption, when the food get digested in the soluble form, the blood used to absorb it. Assimilation, the body cells receives the soluble food from the blood medium, and then it used to utilize in various life process activities, that is assimilation. And after that, the undigested food used to thrown out from the body, that process is called egestion. I hope you understand it. You have studied about the nutrition in amoeba and in hydra. Now I'm moving to the next topic, nutrition in humans. When you see the human body, it is rich with the various organs. Organs who are especially helps in the digestion of food, providing energy to you. They are called digestive organs, right? And for this, we will go ahead, but I'll be here for the Holozoic. In human beings, since they are holozoic, the process of nutrition can be divided into the process of ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion, which I have already told you. The process of nutrition in human includes following steps, right? Here, this is the process of taking in of food. The process is called ingestion. In case of digestion, as I told, the process of breaking down of food into simple soluble form that can be easily absorbed by our body. When we talk about absorption, the process of taking in of digested food into the cells for use. Assimilation, this is the utilization of food for energy, growth and repair and maintenance of cells and tissues. And egestion is the removal of undigested food from the body. See, already these points I have discussed before you, that's why I took it in hurry. To reiterate, nutrition provides the energy to carry out our life processes. It is needed for growth, for maintenance and repair of the tissues of the body, to provide immunity to the body. As you know, why do we need food? So you know we need food to get energy so that we can work and play. It's a very common answer. But here, so that it can carry out life processes, so that it is required for the growth of our body, for the maintenance and repair of the damaged tissues in our body, or for the formation of new tissues in our body, to provide immunity to our body. Entire process of nutrition occurs in alimentary canal. Alimentary canal means a canal which has two endings, 1 and 2. Actually not ending, it is opening. The first opening is called mouth, the second opening is called anus. And in this, it is a tube-like structure, children, and in somewhere it is broader, somewhere it is narrower, right? But overall it is a tube-like structure. Here, food enters how in the alimentary canal, how the digestion process occurs. Let us see. First, food enters in our oral cavity, in our mouth. Here, tongue is there, which aids in swallowing of the food. It mixes food with saliva, and saliva make the food moist, and it helps in swallowing. Back to the next chamber, next pharynx. Teeth are also present in the buccal cavity, in our oral cavity, which also mix the food with the saliva along with their primary function of mastication. Mastication means cutting and chewing the food with the help of teeth. It is what a kind of breaking down of food, a kind of digestion. So teeth also helps in the process of digestion. Now, the food moves to the next region, which is pharynx. As you can see here, from the mouth, this region where salivary glands are showing. After it, the region is pharynx. Pharynx is a common region where the food pipe and windpipe together generate. The esophagus is connected with the oral cavity here. Here means pharynx is the region from where the mouth and the esophagus connect to each other. In esophagus, no digestion occurs. Here only due to peristalsis movement, the food passes from the mouth to the next chamber, to the stomach. Here you can see. And in this esophagus, there is nothing, no digestion. What is the specialty of esophagus? It always do this kind of movement. This kind of movement is called peristaltic movement. And when the food passes through it, so it gets churned into paste form. So this paste form of the food reaches to the stomach. When food enters in the stomach, it churns the food. Gastric juice carries out protein digestion. Also, means in gastric juice many HCl acid is there, HCl acid is there, many enzymes are present which act on the protein, which act on the food and breaks it into simple soluble form. Afterwards, these three are the parts of a small intestine. So after the stomach, the food reaches to the small intestine, and these are the first, second, third part of the small intestine. As you can see, this is the inner area, is the small intestine, है ना? And this inner area is the small intestine. Food from the stomach reaches to this area to the small intestine, and the function in what occurs here, emulsification of fats take place. See children, in small intestine, fats break down into fatty acid and glycerol, means there is the breaking down of fats takes place. For digestion of proteins, fats, carbohydrate, again if left protein is there, left carbohydrate is there, so it again breaks down into the simple soluble form in small intestine. And then in the ileum, digestion ends here, no digestion. Also the completely digested food is further absorbed through villi. है ना? Means in the small intestine the process of digestion has completed and the digested soluble food reaches to the bloodstream. Now how it happens? See, the wall of small intestine is rich with finger-like projections, है ना? These finger-like projections always used to do the movement at their place, and this helps in the absorption of soluble food. This villi are rich with the blood capillaries, and in the blood capillaries, blood diffuses with the soluble food, take the soluble food and carry it to the main blood stream which by the circulation process, which provides it to the cells of our body. Then the leftover part, which is undigested part of food, if left in the small intestine, then it passes to the large intestine. This outer one boundary is large intestine. So it reaches to the large intestine. And here in the large intestine also three parts are there: cecum, colon, rectum. In the cecum, no digestion. In the colon, see, in a small intestine, nothing is there to digest. Here also absorption occurs. See, in a small intestine, digestion has completed. Absorption of insoluble food has also taken place. Now what is left here? Water and few salts if present. So here in the colon, absorption of water takes place. After it, the third part of the large intestine is rectum. Fecal or undigested matter prior to defecate is stored here. Means in the rectum area, if the undigested leftover part of the digested food collect here, and when there is a desire to defecate them out, then through the anus the undigested matter thrown out from our body, and throwing out undigested matter from the body, this process is called egestion. I hope you liked this. Here, some points to be remembered for the nutrition chapter. The various digestive glands are the salivary glands, lining of stomach, lining of small intestine, liver and pancreas. Liver produce bile juice, pancreas produce pancreatic juice. Bile is digestive juice. It is not an enzyme, stored in the gallbladder. Here this is the largest gland of your body, the liver, and in the liver what are you observing here? A small pouch. This is called gallbladder, which stores the bile juice. Bile carries out emulsification of fats. Fats do not digest completely, children. It only breaks down in simplest molecule. So it is, that is, breaks down large fat molecules into smaller globules for their easier digestion. An enzyme, you have studied na, ki in stomach enzymes are there, in small intestine enzymes are there which used to digest the food. So basically enzymes are the chemical secretion that helps carry out a specific reaction in the body. Trypsin is an enzyme which acts on proteins only. Trypsin, pepsin, you know. Appendix is a small structure present where the colon begins. It is a functionless organ in human. In herbivores, it helps to digest cellulose. Cellulose, see, rectum is there. तो ये appendix structure. Colon has started here. So this structure is called appendix, and it is a useless organ in our body, and it is only useful in those animals who feed on the cellulose. So cattle, like cow, buffalo, they feed on the cellulose. So they their appendix, vermiform appendix is active, but in our case it is a useless organ. Children, I have left over with one topic, what is called ruminants. Ruminants are those organisms, those animals who used to chew their food for a little and then they pass into their gut, alimentary canal, right? And after few times, when it moist with the by the mixing with the saliva, and then they bring it back to their mouth so that they can chew it well, right? And the process of chewing the food, sending the food back to their alimentary canal, then bringing it back to their mouth again for chewing. The process of nutrition is called rumination. In this way, they used to, means they basically it occurs in the animals like who feed on the hard stems, like cows, buffaloes. Here they used to chew it normally and then send it to their alimentary canal. Afterwards they bring it back to their mouth when it becomes moist. Where they chew it well, and then it means this process helps them to digest the hard cellulose, to make their digestion easier. This process is important. The animals who used to feed by this method are called ruminants, and the process of feeding in this way is called rumination. I hope you have enjoyed the chapter, and any doubt you can contact me, and hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.